sound and responsible in those later rounds. Make sure you don't burn yourself out condition wise and get too fatigued. You know, make sure everything is balanced and everything is rolling in motion and all cylinders are working with each other in order to get the best result in that ring. So as I said, Shannon Ryan ended up winning that fight on a decision. All right, so another fight on that card was Novak versus Layli Body. Now Body G, he caught Novak with a beautiful left hook, dropping Novak 45 seconds into round 3. The ref stops the fight for a stoppage win for Body G. Pertaining to Body G, he had a great work rate and pace. So it was definitely a good fight. If you get a chance, get on YouTube and run it back. Also, a super middleweight bout. It was a 6-rounder with Juan Cruz Cachero, and he was going against versus Taylor Bevan. It was a 10-round match, and it was a good fight as well. Now, I want to kind of carry over into the main event because it was a rematch for those who follow Dave Allen. So Dave Allen fought Fischer the first time. It went to a decision. Dave Allen dropped Fischer once or twice in the first fight. One of the times that Fischer went down, it didn't count as a knockdown because Dave Allen pretty much shoved him to the canvas. So that wasn't ruled a knockdown. So he knocked him down 1 or 2 times and still ended up losing that fight. Dave Allen ended up losing the fight. Well, last night, to settle the score, they had a rematch. A lot of toe-to-toe action. A lot of body shots and hooks and overhands. A lot of power shots from 2 big guys, 2 big heavyweights. And what ended up happening was, I believe it was round 5, Dave Allen started to hurt Fischer. Going to the body, uppercuts, combinations. And he dropped him in the 5th round. So then it's like maybe 12 seconds left, if that. The ref steps in between these 2 guys to kind of make sure the other guy is ready to go back there to fight. You know, having put his gloves up and everything. Fischer put his gloves up. Hey, you ready to fight? You good? He nods his head yes. And Dave Allen, with about 8 seconds left in round 5, throws a fast, furious combination of like 6 or 7 punches and knocks him out. Literally, he hits the ground as the bell rang at the end of that round. I've never seen a knockout like that. I mean, the timing that he would have enough in him, enough energy, enough power, and to unleash a combination and a flurry like he did, and knocked out Fischer's right at round 5 as it was ending and the bell rung. He was going timber at the same time. Crazy work, y'all. Shout outs to Dave Allen. Now, I will say this. A lot of people are talking, and Dave Allen's been in heavy rotation. Do I think he's a good fighter? I would say he's good, but not great. So I saw a post on FB, and I would like to know y'all opinions in the chat. How would he fare against a fighter like Manuel Char? Manuel Char, 34 wins, 5 losses, no draws. Or Huey Fury, 30 wins, 3 losses, no draws. Dempsey McKean, 22 wins, 2 losses, no draws. Charles Martin, aka Prince Martin, 30 wins, 4 losses, and a draw. Cash Ali, 21 wins, 3 losses, no draws. Or Jared Washington, 21 wins, 6 losses, and a draw. That's 6 opponents right there that could be possible prospects for Dave Allen. Another name that's been associated with Dave Allen is who we call the body snatcher, Dillian White. So what do y'all think about Dillian White versus Dave Allen? Although Dillian White does have a fight set up soon. I'm not too privy on the opponent right now, but on my next show, I'll be talking about him a little bit more, about Dillian White and his opponent, once I can do some more research on his opponent. But something that me and Cam J talked about, shout outs to Cam J, is the landscape of the heavyweight division right now. And especially over here in America, at one time, there was a lot of ex-champions, champions right over here in America, especially in the 1990s, in the era that I love and grew up in. You had Holyfield, you had Mike Tyson. All these guys at one point were champs. And then they became former champs when they lost the belt. And even if you wasn't a champ, you had so many top contenders that were dangerous fighters back in the 1990s, like Ray Mercer and Burt Cooper. You had these very dangerous guys in the 1990s that were top contenders, and they could rumble and give anybody a nice work that was very, very tough. So shout outs to Ray Mercer. Rest in peace to Burt Cooper. Very, very rugged, very, very tough guys. And although I didn't really watch the era after Lennox Lewis took over, when he beat Holyfield and Tyson, then you had the Klitschko era. So then you had Shannon the Cannon Briggs, who had a nice boxing style, a big, powerful guy that fought Lennox Lewis. Vasiliy Klitschko, who fought Lennox Lewis. Just a lot of good fighters. Big Samuel Peter, fighting in that era of the Klitschko era. The guy up out of Indiana, I think he's out of Indianapolis. And I want to say he beat Klitschko back then. I'm trying to think of his name. The boxer from Indiana that fought Klitschko. If y'all remember that guy's name, let me know in the chat room. Lamont Brewster. Yeah, Lamont Brewster. So you had all those guys in that Klitschko era of heavyweights. But to me, nothing was like the 1990s era of heavyweights. I do think the heavyweights of right now, collectively, I think is more of a variety of heavyweights in this era than it was in the Klitschko era. Not saying that the best fighter right now could necessarily beat Klitschko. I think Usyk would do good against Klitschko, but I don't know. I don't know how you would fare against Vasiliy, because Vasiliy was more dangerous than Vlad. All right, y'all. So let's talk about something else too. That's been kind of trending and going around on Fight Hype and different interviews with Timothy Bradley. Former boxer Timothy Bradley, who is on ESPN, he's pretty much making a statement, and he's saying that Teofimo Lopez will trouble Jerron Boots Ennis. If you feel there is any truth to what he's saying, please let me know in the chat. Because I personally don't feel like Tio has anything coming when it comes to Jerron Boots Ennis. I think Tim Bradley is just talking sideways right now for whatever reason. But Tio is cool. He's he got good skills. He does good, but come on. Against Boots Ennis though? Nah, man. I think Tio will do better against Keyshawn Davis. As Cam J has said on his pod, I think Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson would be more entertaining. I think Boots is going to show levels. Cam J said, Tim Bradley delusional as hell. He don't believe that. He waving the top rank flag for Tio. Yeah, man, that's definitely what it is, man, because ain't no way, man. Boots Ennis is way too skilled, man. He's way too skilled. Everything Tio can do, I feel like Boots can do better. And he can switch hit. And he got quicker hands. And he got more punching power. But I mean, hey, if Tio wants that smoke and wants to be a throwback fighter and take on all comers, I say go ahead and feed him to Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? Boots Ennis is gonna eat. If he fights Tio Lopez, Boots Ennis is gonna eat. Also, there's been footage circulating of Tyson Fury in the gym with his trainer, Sugar Hill Stewart. I want to know if you put much thought into it. Do you feel like Tyson Fury is going to come back to boxing and he's staying in shape right now just because he knows the Anthony Joshua fight is what everybody wants to see? He also knows it will be a huge bag, and he wants to stay in shape and try to be ready so he doesn't have to get ready. All right, Cam J, you say Boots will unalive T.O. Yeah, man. I feel like that too, man. I feel like Boots is way too much, man. And we often talk about levels in boxing. Well, when we talking about T.O., we talking about Boots. There's levels, man. There's levels. And hey, it's all good though. You know, I'm saying if that fight can happen, let it happen. Because I pretty much already know the outcome of that fight. It ain't going all 12 rounds. Cam J, you said Fury coming back. You think versus AJ? Yeah, man. I think so, man. I think it's going to happen. AJ got that injury or whatever. Once he comes back from the injury, he'll probably have a tune-up fight or whatever. And then he'll be calling out Tyson Fury for sure. So hopefully in 2026, We finally see AJ versus Tyson Fury. Now, if it happens, Cam J, do you think it'll be at Wembley? Where do you think it'll be hosted at? Where would the venue be, in your opinion, over in UK? Also, Cam J, if we do get Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, hypothetically, if it happens, what is your prediction? How do you see that fight playing out, man? Yo, what's going on? Jason Lease from the 513. What's going on, my Cincinnati brother? Now you said who's stronger? Which fighters are you talking about? And if you can, Jason, come over to my YouTube channel. Just come over to YouTube, Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. Off pin. Yeah, click the pin link in the comments, and it'll take you over to YouTube. That way I can respond a little bit faster if you're in my YouTube, in my YouTube chat. All right, Cam J, respect. You said definitely Wembley is where to be as far as the venue, and you said you edged Tyson Fury. Well, that's cool. It's all good, man. The reason why I edge AJ, because I'm an AJ, not just because I'm an AJ fan, but just me looking at their resume and looking at the style of opponents they fight. Okay, yeah, they both fought Klitschko. Even though Fury fought a boring fight against Vlad, he did win, so we got to give him credit. Fury did beat a 39-year-old Vlad Klitschko like 18 months before AJ stopped Klitschko. Now, they both fought Dillian White. Yeah, Fury took less punches, but at the same time, the AJ that fought Dillian White, he was still learning. He was still developing. People got to remember, Anthony Joshua didn't start boxing until the age of 18. So much like Deontay Wilder, AJ was a late starter. But look at the fact that AJ fought Joseph Parker years ago. It wasn't the best fight, but he did fight Joseph Parker, and he beat him. He fought a rough Povetkin, who had a resume himself. Povetkin, he was older, but he had a dangerous uppercut, because about a year or so after AJ fought Povetkin knocked out prime Dillian White. So he was always dangerous. AJ fought Usyk back-to-back first without no hesitation. He wasn't trying to make the fight postpone and playing with the negotiations like Tyson Fury. AJ, he was fighting whoever pretty much. Who else? Daniel Dubois, 27-year-old prime Daniel Dubois. Although AJ got knocked out, he fought Daniel Dubois. And Daniel Dubois is on a streak right now. The most dangerous opponent of recent that Fury did fight was Deontay Wilder in the trilogy. But I mean, as dangerous as Wilder was, he's very limited because he pretty much is lining up his right hand. He doesn't really throw a lot of body shots. Wilder just tries to land that right hand. I feel like if Daniel Dubois fought Fury, it'll look a lot worse. Like he'll do a lot more to Fury than Wilder did. Oh yeah, and as far as last time, there was a technicality or whatever, but everything should be up and running right now, Cam J. So the link is there, bro. If you want to hop on for a minute and just chop it up. And speaking of Dave Allen, man, yeah, he's cool. I mean, he's cool to watch, but he's nothing to be overly impressed about. You know what I'm saying? I feel like once he steps up to guys like, let me think of a name, even like the AJs and the Dubois, the Parkers, people like that, man, he ain't got nothing coming, man. Dave Allen, I mean, I'm happy for his success or whatever, but he's only going to go so far, man, because he doesn't have the best endurance. He never comes in the best shape. He doesn't have a lot of speed. He doesn't have good footwork. There's so many things you could look at that are an issue when it comes to Dave Allen. So many things to where he's not going to be on that elite level due to those attributes that he doesn't have. Give me 1 second. I want to just kind of try to correspond if anybody messages me on FB. All right, so let's talk about Usyk versus Dubois, the rematch. How do you see it playing out? A lot of people are edging Usyk because of his skill. Hey, cuz, thanks for stopping through. Much love. Happy Sunday to you. So Daniel Dubois, prime 27-year-old, very powerful. He punches like a mule. Not only does he have power in his right hand, he has power in the left hand. Not only does he throw a jab, he throws hooks, uppercuts, body shots, overhand. He has so many weapons. He has decent footwork too. I mean, nothing like fancy like Tyson Fury or Usyk, but he knows how to cut off the ring. And I think in this camp right now for the rematch, they're definitely having him work on the body punches more, work on cutting off the ring, work on learning how to fight off his back foot. There's a lot of tweaks that are going to be very important if Dubois is going to beat Usyk in the rematch. Now, it's no easy thing to do. It's definitely easier said than done. But like Teddy Atlas and many other experts say, every boxer has some type of vulnerability. So the thing of it is who can exploit that small window of a vulnerability that is there. Usyk has speed. The only thing he lacks is he doesn't have a lot of power, and it's questionable that sometimes he doesn't take body shots the best. So if those are two factors, then Daniel Dubois is going to have to negate the angles of Usyk. He's going to have to zone in on his body as much as possible in order to be victorious against the elusive and a much quicker Alexander Usyk. What up, my guy? Guards Up Entertainment. What's going on? But because you said you're a betting man, you got your money on Dubois. Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up, man. I mean, Dubois, he's hungry, man. He's definitely hungry. That's one thing I can say about him. A lot of fighters start losing that hunger when they get a couple of some millions and they get the bag or whatever, and they sitting kind of pretty. They lose that hunger. But Daniel Dubois, he fights like he's always hungry, man. And I think in this rematch, he knows it's for all the belts, it's for all the respect, and the fact that him and certain people in his team said it was a clean punch that was ruled a low blow. He got a point to prove. He got a statement to make in the rematch. Guards Up Entertainment. You said Usyk fights the same fight. He wins by points. If Dubois makes the necessary adjustments and attacks the body, he stops Usyk. Yeah, man, I agree with what you're saying, and I think too, Dubois is going to have to make this fight ugly. And one thing about him, being 27, young, energetic, athletic, Daniel Dubois can make this an ugly fight. He's going to have to cut off that ring, corner him up the best way he can. Because one thing about Usyk, like you said, he wins on points. So Dubois knows in order to win, he must get a knockout or a TKO. He's not going to outpoint Usyk. On his best day, Dubois can't outpoint Usyk. He has to win by knockout or stoppage. So we're going to see, man. It's going to be an interesting rematch. I think it's going to be a lot better than the first fight. And normally, too, with Usyk, his style, he generally starts to step it up around those mid rounds. He starts to really elevate his game in that boxing ring. I think that Dubois should be smart enough to come at him aggressive, not overly aggressive, not overzealous, but in a systematic, calculative way. He should break him down slowly with the body shots, set up certain traps and stuff like that. Hey, man, Dubois, man, people sleeping on him. They sleeping on that young guy. So we're going to see, y'all. We're going to see what goes down. Now, let me ask you this, Guards Up Entertainment. The same thing I asked Cam J earlier. If we get to see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, what's your prediction? AJ versus Fury, hypothetically. Guards Up, what is your prediction? I'm going for AJ. I actually feel like Anthony Joshua has all the skills. He's not more skilled than Tyson Fury, but he has enough skills and he has enough of a resume, enough of being battle tested, enough of fighting different style opponents. I mean, he fought Usyk, who beat him and Tyson Fury. So I feel like AJ can beat Fury because Fury's not as slick as Usyk. He's not as slick as Usyk. He's got a bigger frame than Usyk. So that means AJ has more of a longer torso to aim at and the target. And AJ prefers taller fighters too. So, you know, Tyson Fury's about 2 inches taller. So he has all the makings of what's needed to beat Tyson Fury. It's going to be a very interesting fight, man, if it happens in 2026. AJ versus Fury is going to be a very interesting fight. Just went on. Yeah, so let me see. Hold on 1 second, y'all. So another thing I want to know. So since the fact that Big Baby Miller is not going to be fighting Fabio Wardley, and the replacement is Justice Huni of Australia. I had a couple of guys out of Australia in different areas, maybe like UK and stuff. They feel like Justice Huni may beat Fabio Wardley. So it's going to be interesting to see this one too, because Fabio has been doing his thing, and he has been looking for a big opportunity, and I think that big opportunity was Big Baby Miller. It would have gave him the chance to fight a fighter from over here in America and to make his name. But now that he has to fight this the guy Justice Huni, you know, it's going to change the trajectory a tad bit. But a lot of people feel like Justice Huni has more speed and more endurance and stuff like that. But I guess the question is, we know Fabio Wardley can really crack. He can really hit. So is Justice Huni going to be able to take the power shots from Fabio Wardley? So it's going to be a good fight. I don't know. I'm going to say 50-50. I'm going to have to do some more research. I've been looking at Justice Huni. I seen like 2 fights when he fought Kevin Lorena. But I just don't know. I just can't make a decision yet on Huni versus Wardley. Another person we need to talk about is Cabay. I wonder what's going to be his next move. I wonder what will be the next move of Cabay. Also, the next move for Joseph Parker. You got Joseph Parker, Cabay, 2 good fighters, and they're sitting on the sideline right now. I guess just waiting to see the results and how everything is going to trickle down. You know what I'm saying? If Dubois does upset Usyk and becomes undisputed, then will Dubois have to fight and defend against Cabay, or will Joseph Parker rightfully get his shot at Daniel Dubois? because that was his original opponent from before when Dubois pulled out. So the landscape of the heavyweight division is going to look pretty nice after these next couple of fights. So by 2026, I think we'll see a nice array of heavyweight fights, because we're going to have Dubois versus Usyk. We'll know the results of that. And then we'll see where Joseph Parker is going to be placed at as far as who he's going to fight next. Ajit Cabay, who he's going to fight next. So there's going to be a lot of things going down in the heavyweight division. And some people feel like Moses Itauma, the up-and-coming young star of UK, that he has enough youth, enough power, enough skill, enough speed to beat Martin Bakole. Now, don't get me wrong. I feel that Martin Bakole is overrated. I think he's put as his boogeyman and set up on a pedestal. But don't get me wrong, he's still a very dangerous fighter. I think that Moses Itauma may not be ready for Martin Bakole at this very moment. I don't think Frank Warren needs to rush it. I think they should let Bakole have his rematch with Efe Ajagba if that happens next, and then have Moses Itauma fight maybe Charles Martin, or he already fought Dempsey McKean and knocked him out. But if it ain't Charles Martin, somebody like Jared Washington. So let me know what y'all think. Is it too early for Moses Itauma to fight Martin Bakole? In the same aspect, if they are to fight Moses Itauma versus Martin Bakole, what would be your prediction? What up, Jeff Al Dente? It's been a minute. How you doing, bro? Thanks for stopping through tonight. All right, let me go back in these comments real quick. All right, Guards Up Entertainment. You say Fury outboxes AJ all day. But if AJ brings that lion and determination hunger of old, then he could possibly stop Fury. But that's this recent Fury. If he fought Fury back when Wilder was. So you say Fury all day. Okay, respect. You also said Guards Up. But if they fight now, I think Fury outboxes him. But AJ has to bring that hunger he used to have, which I don't think he has anymore. Interesting, man. Interesting. I like your take, man. That's a good and fair assessment. Very logical. You said Guards Up Entertainment. You think Joseph Parker should get his shot at the winner of Usyk versus Dubois? Facts, man. He deserves it, man. He's been on a winning streak. He's been holding it down. He's been fighting the most dangerous guys. So Joseph Parker, if anybody deserves it, Joseph Parker deserves a shot. Guards Up Entertainment. Oh yeah, Moses Itauma, man. Yeah, he's nice. He's definitely nice. You said you take him over any of them right now. Okay, that's a big that's a big statement. Big bold statement for real. Guards Up, but Moses Itauma is nice though. He really nice. And he got the dog in him. So what you think, Jeff Al Dente? If Fury fights AJ in 2026, hypothetically, if they fight, man, What's your prediction? I want to know your prediction for AJ versus Fury. I want to know your prediction Moses Itauma versus Martin Bakole. And I want to know your prediction Usyk versus Dubois rematch. Now, Usyk versus Dubois rematch is an actual fight that's signed, sealed, and delivered. Fury versus AJ, Moses Itauma versus Bakole, those two are just hypothetical fantasy matches. Fights that we want to see. And since it's been a while, Jeff Al Dente, I would like to know your take. What do you think is going to happen if Tank fights when Tank fights Lamont Roach Jr. in the rematch? What would be your prediction? Because the way I see it, Tank's going to get a stoppage or a KO in the rematch. I think it's too much on the line right now. Too much has been done. Tank has never had a draw before, so to have his first draw and to have like his second opponent, maybe third opponent, go the distance, hey man, I think Tank, he's going to want to make a statement. He's going to have a point to prove in the rematch. And I feel like Tank must have Coach Calvin. I keep saying this over and over, but I feel like Tank must have Coach Calvin as his head trainer, man. Nobody else can fill the shoes of Coach Calvin, man. So let me know. Hey, what's up, Joel? I see you finally made it, man. What's going on, man? Oh yeah, and also, Joel, I know you inquired when you hit me on Messenger about the red hat, man. We don't have red hats like the color of the hat itself, but the glove logo is red. So if you have a second favorite color other than red, we got the gray, the navy, the blue, the black. All right, Jeff Al Dente, you said you think Fury wins. You think AJ is too distracted. You think AJ is distracted, don't know what it is about his. Let me see. About his training. He's missing the memo on all his biggest fights. Yeah, man. For sure, man. And hopefully, man, he'll he'll get it together, man. I think just for whatever reason, like you said, it's like he's distracted. And I do know that as of lately, he went back over to Africa, to Nigeria, where his dad is from, and where he has relatives. He went over to Nigeria and Africa, man, just to kind of probably get a peace of mind, keep himself grounded, keep it real to his roots. I don't know, man. We'll see on the next fight, man. We'll see where AJ is mentally and physically. Because physically he's in shape, but his last fight with Dubois, he wasn't on point. He was getting hit with punches so easily. You know what I mean? He was letting his guards down, walking in straight lines, backwards in straight lines. He was doing a lot of juvenile mistakes, man. He pretty much was making the kind of mistakes he should have made when he was first starting boxing at the age of 18. He was acting like he was that 18 or 19-year-old kid just learning, you know what I'm saying? So I don't get it. Guards up, you said Bakole versus Zhang, Cabay versus Ejagba, Moses and Itauma versus Jared Anderson. Man, every match you just said is lit, guards up. And I was thinking that too. Moses and Itauma, since he's up and coming, and Jared Anderson out of Toledo, Ohio, over here in the U.S., that'd be a good fight. I'd probably edge Moses to beat Jared Anderson, but it'd be a good fight. Yeah, man, we got to see where he is mentally with Jared Anderson. We got to see, man, because and another thing, man, something I talked to Cam J about. When you're speaking of people like Jared Anderson, Andy Ruiz, these guys are they're on that non-active list. To be the best version of you in the boxing ring, one thing you definitely need is to be consistent. And you need to be fighting every 4 months, maybe. That way you're getting 3 fights a year. But this fighting once a year, fighting every 18 months, that's not good for any boxer. That ring rust, that's one of the worst things for any boxer. So whatever it is, if Jared Anderson is still with it, he's still hungry, he needs to get an opponent. I don't care if it's another tune-up just to kind of get him back in his groove, but Jared Anderson needs a fight, preferably before the end of the year. He needs a fight this year in 2025. I think he had a fight not long ago, according to Cam J, and it was subpar. He didn't look great, but you know how that goes. Oh yeah, and make sure to all my people, please hit the thumbs up. That thumbs up button, please. And like I said before, in case you didn't see it before when I first came in here, I just wanted to reiterate, do not miss out on next Sunday, y'all. Please show support and love, because I'm going to have a special guest on here next Sunday. He's from here in Cincinnati, Ohio, USA, a former boxer, a former professional boxer, who was also the brother of a former champion. And them two brothers are from here in Cincinnati, Ohio. So if you want to know who I'm talking about, make sure that you Google Tony Tubbs. TonyTubbs. Google Tony Tubbs Wikipedia. Google Nate Tubbs Wikipedia. Look up their box rec and all that type of stuff. Look up on YouTube. Look up some of their fights. Look up David Tua versus Nate Tubbs. Look up Nate Tubbs versus Corey Sanders. Look up Tony Tubbs versus Mike Tyson. You know, just to give you an idea of who these guys are. Salute Wayne Evans. What up, my guy? Happy you made it through, man. Wayne Evans, please hit the thumbs up and tune in next Sunday, everybody here. Because like I said, I want to show the special guest some love, and y'all can ask him some questions in the chat. Guards Up Entertainment, you said Jared got humbled badly by Bakole, and I'm not sure if he's ever going to be the same. I mean, I do agree, man. That was a humbling type situation. But I feel like this, man. He was still learning. Jared Anderson's still developing. He's still somewhat green. I think he shouldn't take it too hard on himself to lose to a dangerous opponent like Martin Bakole. He needs to dust himself off, take a lighter touch, maybe even two lighter touch tune-ups, and then just to see where he's still at. But I don't think he should give up. He's still young. So we'll see what happens with big baby Jared Anderson. Oh, Wayne, and since you're here, bro, I want to know your predictions as well, man. Dubois versus Usyk, the rematch. What's your predictions? What's your predictions for Tank versus Lamont Roach Jr. rematch? Wayne, let me know your predictions, bro. And two hypothetical matches. How would it go, Martin Bakole versus Moses Itauma, and Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury? Jeff Aldente, you said the fight with Miller was a travesty. Ruiz missed his shot. Oh, man. Oh, I really hated that, man. I really hated that he didn't come in the best shape and in the best fighting shape, and that he sits around too long. He don't stay active enough. If Andy Ruiz is an active Andy Ruiz, he can beat a lot of these top guys. But his problem is he's too inconsistent. He's fighting every 18 to 20 months. And that's crazy work. That's crazy work. Yep. So, it's going to be some good things going down. Now, let's also talk about what Shakur Stevenson said. Okay. Well, right before I say that, Wayne Evans, you said Danny going to have to bring it and try to be the aggressor. If not, we all know Usyk is a master boxer and can make it a long night. Usyk by majority decision. I agree, man. He definitely has to be the aggressor. But at the same time, Wayne Evans, Dubois is only like age 27. So he has youth by his side. So he can be aggressive. We know he got that. He got Tiger in him. He can be very explosive and very dangerous. So I think this rematch, we're going to see a rejuvenated and a very ferocious and in the most dangerous form, a dangerous on form, Daniel Dubois. Also, everybody, what y'all think about Shakur Stevenson saying that he sees Bud Crawford knocking out Canelo Alvarez? Now, I'm gonna stop that right there. As much as I respect the craft, the style, the skills, the ring IQ of Bud Crawford, I cannot see him knocking out Canelo Alvarez. However, I can definitely see Bud Crawford running away with a unanimous decision. I can see Bud winning 8 rounds out of 12 because he's more slicker. He has much better footwork. And I think footwork and the fact that Canelo won't be able to cut off the ring will prove to be pivotal for Bud Crawford to be victorious. Wayne Evans, you say he can't be careless while being aggressive, though. Got to fight smart on the defensive end. Oh, facts, man. I said the same thing, is that he's got to be real calculated and set up traps, but he can't be overzealous. He can't just be winging punches and leaving himself all open. He has to be very smart with his approach with Usyk. If Dubois could be smart and somewhat dictate the pace and go to the body of Usyk and try to set him up for an uppercut or something like that, he might be able to get him up out of there. Now, Jeff Al Dente, you said he didn't knock out Madrimov, who almost got pieced up by Ortiz. Hard to think it'll be a KO by Crawford. Yeah, man, I feel the same way. He's not going to knock him out, but I feel like he's going to win with a decision. Guards up, you said, man, y'all be wildin' saying Madrimov got pieced up by Ortiz, referring to Jeff Al Dente. Well, Jeff Al Dente, you got a rebuttal? Wayne Evans, Bud, hella strong, but I'm not sure that translates to 168. And Canelo has a strong chin and strong legs. It's funny you say that, Wayne. I said the same thing on my last podcast. Something very similar. I don't know that Bud's power is going to acclimate from 147 to 168 because he only fought one fighter at 154. So technically, he's like a 147 pounder moving all the way up to 168. It's going to be an interesting fight, to say the least. Guards Up Entertainment, you said that was a great fight. Madrimov fight style is just awkward, and Canelo isn't. Bingo. Yeah, man, Madrimov is definitely altogether different as far as his footwork in that ring, because Canelo has much slower feet, and the Canelo we saw versus William Skull, he wasn't cutting off that ring. So yeah, man. So like I said, y'all, next week is going down. I'm very, very, very excited about my special guest. As y'all can see, we got a picture right beside me of Nate Tubbs and his good friend Mike Tyson. So big shout outs to Iron Mike Tyson and big shout outs to Nate Tubbs of Cincinnati, Ohio, 513. Jeff Aldente, you said, I felt Madrimov won the first half, but wasn't losing the second half of the fight versus Ortiz. If I remember correctly, he looked really tired on the second half. Okay, good point, Jeff Aldente. What I'm going to have to do now, since y'all getting in some good context right now, before I go to sleep tonight, and I got to work early in the morning, I might have to run that fight. I might have to go and look at that fight with Madrimov and Ortiz, because everybody keeps talking about that match. Guards up. You said, and remember I said it's all about angles, and everybody has a snooze button. Oh man, I like that analogy. Guards up. I like that analogy, man. I like that analogy. It's very well thought out. Oh, and another thing I want y'all to do. Make sure you go to IG and follow Nate Tubbs on his IG. Is it possible you can post his IG link in the comments? Nate Tubbs. We're going to get that posted in the comments for you for Nate Tubbs' Instagram. And please make sure you follow his IG. IG. Or actually both, really. But yeah, you can follow him on IG and also follow him on Facebook. With an S, yep, behind it. That's him at the top. Right there. All right, let me see. You said Jeff Aldente. That fight was a big one since Ortiz wanted the Crawford fight. Okay. Guards up. Yeah, they both were tired. Ortiz was hurt too. Ortiz's constant pressure made the gas tanks of both of them dwindle, but the shots they were both taking and giving drained them, as well as they both fought. Okay. Cam J. Ortiz beat Madrimov more convincingly than Bud did. Look at Madrimov face after the fight. Look at Madrimov's face after he fought Ortiz compared to Bud. Different styles and different approaches to the fight. Yeah, man, for sure. Guards up. Hey, Cuzzo, thank you for joining, and you enjoy the remainder of your week. And Jeff Aldente, guards up. Cam J, Wayne Evans, make sure you hit that link for next week's special guest, Nate Tubbs, his Facebook page. That way you can kind of see some of his posts pertaining to boxing and everything, and the event he has going on at the end of the month. Wayne Evans, you said, my bad. I forgot to give my opinion on Tank Roach 2, the rematch. You think if Tank catches him this time and puts him out in the later rounds? I can see that, man. I can see that. I can see that happening, man. And that's what I feel like is going to happen, Wayne. I think that Tank is going to get that shot off this time. He's going to make tweaks, and I feel like he's going to have Coach Calvin as his head coach, the way it should have been in the last fight. Jeff Aldente, you said Tank getting the KO, it would probably get the crowd howling, and the rematch going to be insane. That's what's up, man. I feel like that too, Jeff, man. I feel like Tank is going to be the Tank that we know Tank to be. And the Tank that we know him to be is the Tank that we all want to see. Yes, sir. Now, I think Tank, we know him as being very dangerous, but in the same aspect as we saw in the first fight, he needs to be wary and respect Lamont Roach too. Lamont Roach is no pushover, and he does have respectable power. So I think Tank has to still be careful and watch what's coming back and watch for the counterpunch. Because Lamont Roach Jr., he has some good power. Guards up. Same outcome. Tank by decision. Roach knows him too well. Long-term sparring partners make for difficult fights. What you think, Cam J? This is what Guards Up Entertainment says. He said Tank by decision. Same outcome. Lamont Roach knows him too well. Long-term sparring partners make for difficult fights. So Cam J, do you think there's anything Tank can do in the rematch? Any tweaks or anything he can do to actually win by stoppage or KO, being that they have such a history with one another from sparring, and they both understand each other on a different level than anybody else does because they have that history. They've been sparring together. They know each other. They fought each other once. So it's going to make a very interesting rematch, I feel like, this time around. It'll be even more intriguing in the rematch with Tank versus Lamont Roach Jr. Oh, and shout outs. I see some of my guys out. I ain't seen in a minute from Woodline. So shout outs to Jay Love. I saw at the graduation from Woodline. Shout outs to you. Slice. Shout out to Slice. Tez. Martez. Shout out to Martez. Kev Price. And Maceo, all of my Woodline guys. Wayne Evans, you said that's true. We saw Jermaine Ortiz with Loma. Loma long layoff. And speaking of Loma, man, what is he doing lately? Is Loma going to still keep fighting? Has he got 1 or 2 more fights in him? Because last time Tank called him out, he wasn't feeling it. He wasn't trying to fight Tank at the time. So I wonder if Loma will finally fight Tank, or hey, can we see Loma versus the winner of Tank versus Lamont Roach? Cam J, you said wouldn't be surprised if Tank wins by decision, but I think it'll be more clear. Tank just got to utilize the ring, mixing it up on the outside and inside. He'll be able to beat him clear. I like that breakdown, Cam J. I like that breakdown right there, man. Wayne Evans, you said the last you heard he had back problems. You know what? I think I heard something like that about Lomachenko. So if that's the case, hopefully if he had surgery on it or whatever, he's well enough to get back in the ring. I guess we'll have to keep our ears and eyes open on the latest news for Lomachenko. So Lomachenko, get well. First and foremost, health is wealth, and most importantly, you matter most to your family. So get yourself feeling better, and salute to Lomachenko. Cam J, you said top rank reps think he's going to retire, from what I'm hearing. Oh, okay. So Loma's gonna he's gonna lay it down, huh? Jeff Aldente, I think they're looking to get Loma fight and Murtala as the final fight. Okay. I don't really know him. I'm not so privy to Murtala, but I'll look him up for sure. Look up his box rec. Look up his highlights. Cam J. Oh yeah. Salute to Jeff Aldente for sure. Also, let's talk about this, y'all. What about Pacquiao, age 46, versus a 17 years younger Mario Barrios? What y'all think about Pac versus Barrios? 17-year difference. It don't even make sense to me, if you ask me, in my opinion. In my opinion, it makes no sense that Pacquiao should be fighting an opponent 17 years younger than him. Oh, and I can't forget my homie Sherrard from Woodline. Shout out to you, because you be showing love and everything, man. Wayne, you said Pac shouldn't be able to cut the line like that. Yeah, he shouldn't, man. But at the same time, just think about it. He's 46, man. He shouldn't even be fighting, in my opinion. But if you 46, I say give him a pass, because he needs to jump in there right now, because just that fast he'll be 47 around the corner. So if he's gonna fight, I guess let him get in there and do his thing. I mean, I don't like it, but I mean, I don't know if it's a money thing or what, but age 46, man, that's crazy work. Oh yeah, for sure. Shout outs to Cam J again. Jeff Aldente, check out Cam J Network, because he keeps it popping, and he also covers a lot of other sports talk. I don't cover. I just pretty much cover straight boxing, but he covers NBA, college football, Cincinnati Bengals, and more. So check out my family. Yeah, man, this is a beautiful roundup, y'all. I appreciate y'all showing up and showing out tonight, like y'all doing. And like I said, when I first started this podcast, this live tonight, make sure you also remember that I got the online store, the store with the hats, the shirts, hoodies, and they will deliver international. So wherever you are in America, wherever you are in Africa, Belgium, wherever, you'll get your merch delivered to your doorstep. Wayne, you said if it was a money thing, he could Floyd exhibition. We all know that would sell. Well, that's my thing too, Wayne. You made a good point. I was hoping that. I was like, well, why don't he just pull a Floyd Mayweather, and do an exhibition? That way, you still getting paid good. You're respected as a legend, and maybe say you're gonna do so much of your purse for a charity or something like that. A portion of it is going to the Philippines or wherever. But I can't say it being a sanctioned fight for a 46-year-old fighter who hasn't fought in like 4 years. That's backwards. Cam J, I hate Pac-Man versus Barrios fight, but I'm here for it for the undercard. The undercard gonna be fire. Fundora versus Tim Tszyu, rematch for Pitbull versus Angel Firo as well. Yeah, just those two matches right there, that will make the night worth it right there, man. Fundora versus Tim Tszyu rematch, because I don't like the way that ended with the cut. And then Pitbull Cruz. Oh, Pitbull's an exciting fighter. Tim Tszyu, exciting fighter. So that's going to be a lit undercard. You are right, Cam J. And unfortunately, it's a shame that one of those guys ain't they ain't going to be on the main event. You know what I'm saying? But, it is what it is. It is what it is. So speaking of that match, Fundora versus Tim Tszyu rematch. What's y'all prediction? How does Fundora versus Tim Tszyu play out? I feel like Tim Tszyu could definitely win. Fundora, he's so tall and rangy and got long arms and long legs. So he's kind of hard to get inside, but a fighter that's smart enough, they normally can get inside with Sebastian Fundora. So I'm looking forward to the rematch. Cam J Network, you said Pitbull Cruz versus Angel Ferreira first fight earlier this year is a candidate for fight of the year. The rematch for them gonna go crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, for sure. I can't wait. Man. This is like it seems like it's the year of the rematches, man. You got the Usyk versus Dubois rematch. Tank versus Roach rematch. Fundora versus Tim Tszyu rematch. Pitbull versus Fischer rematch. It's the year of the rematch 2025. And Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. But not only, well, that's not really a rematch, but it's a trilogy. But it's still them seeing each other again in the ring. So, rematch, 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 trilogy. It's going to be lit. All right, Guards Up Entertainment. Pacquiao could have fought King Rai Garcia if he wanted money, but he chose Barrios, probably thinking he's the weakest link. Hey man, you're like the second or third person to say that, so I would have to agree, man. He definitely thinks Barrios is the weakest link. Hey, but to that we shall see. Wayne Evans, does Tim Tszyu have PSD from Merzilov? I can't pronounce his name. But he put it on him. Yeah, that was a good fight, man. that was a good fight. Cam J, you said you might edge Fundora, possibly. It's a 55-45 fight for Fundora currently in your eyes. Tim Tszyu look good versus Joey Spencer. Wayne Evans, you said guards up, low hanging fruit. Laugh out loud. Yeah, man, for sure, man. You know, it's like the path and the course of least resistance. You know, sometimes people, they don't want to take the path of the heavy resistance. You know, they rather take the be able to wade in the water when the current ain't so strong, so to speak. Because if that current is too rough, they might get carried away. Hey, bro. How long we been on? Yep. So, anybody else got a prediction on any matches we talked about? Because pretty soon I'm about to wrap it up, and I really appreciate once again everybody that showed up tonight. We had a very good gathering tonight here on Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. I can't thank you enough for the support. Shout outs to Cam J Network. Shout outs. Shout outs to Guards Up Entertainment. You said Fundora stops Tim Tszyu. Okay, that's what's up, man. Big shout outs to Wayne Evans falling through. I love it. Cuzzo down south. Thanks for falling through. Jeff Al Dente, it's good to hear from you again tonight. I don't want to leave anybody out. I'm going to try to do my best to... Oh, sis. Little sis Quill, thanks for falling through tonight. Tell Twin I said what's up. And make sure y'all tune in next Sunday, like I said. If my dude could drop a pic one more time. Nate Tubbs, former boxer of Cincinnati, Ohio, the brother of former champ Tony Tubbs, will be live with Ring Walk Boxing Podcast next Sunday. And we're going to break down a lot of different layers. And y'all can ask some questions in the chat room or in the comment section to Nate Tubbs. So like I said, make sure when you get on YouTube, please do your due diligence and check him out. Nate Tubbs versus David Tua. Nate Tubbs versus Corey Sanders. Tony Tubbs versus Iron Mike Tyson. Look at the box recs. Look at the Wikipedia. Google the name. And also follow him on Facebook, Nate Tubbs. Nate Tubbs on IG. The links are in the chat. So please follow him. And, you know, we'll be chopping it up with him next Sunday. Oh, yeah. Cam J, it's going to be lit, fam. It's going to be lit, man. So shout outs to all my family, like I said. All my Woodlawn family, my Lincoln Heights family, my Laughlin family, Zone 15, Cincinnati 513. Much love. And we're going to end this night. And everybody be safe, be blessed. And we're going to see y'all next week when we go live with our special guests. Y'all have a good, safe week. And I'll catch you on the next round.